Hello, and I'm back, powered by Isaac, documenting the trading journey using YouTube. I'll be talking all things trading today from my new office space, my new trading mecca, and I hope this will give you an insight into this last week's trades, although I haven't still received my account details for the new Funded Engineer Challenge. However, they have emailed me. The Funded Engineer, the migration process is underway. It should be done by Monday, Tuesday, so we can get back to journaling, trades taken, etc. with the Funded Engineer, as I am on phase 2 of the £1 million challenge. So yeah, I hope you've all had a good week trading. Mine's not been so great. I've had a break-even type week. The new account I've started with the Fivers is around about 2% down after a couple of schoolboy errors with regards to trade copying and lot size. But yes, we have had a very steady week. I think I've taken 4 trades, and I will go into those with yourselves. Okay, let's get to it. So I have taken 4 trades this week using other accounts. The 100k Funded Engineer account is the beginning of the YouTube series journey for myself, where I'm going to try and hold myself accountable and trade to the best of my ability to grow to £1 million worth of funding in prop firms using YouTube to document the journey. It's more to do with accountability and to create better disciplines within myself. Holding myself accountable and sharing this journey with yourselves will obviously put the pressure on, but touch wood, help me improve my trading journey in the long term. So yeah, 4 trades this week, not on the Funded Engineer obviously. I'm still waiting for the details. They should be coming Monday or Tuesday for the new dashboard, and I can continue documenting the journey with that using the Funded Engineer and TradeZeller. I am using a Notion dashboard created by the Mental Edge, which is Johnny Godfrey's business, who is more to do with psychology, but that's what I am using to document the normal trading with my other accounts. So TradeZeller will be linked back to the new dashboard, and I will be able to continue sharing the P&L and the account growth with that once we're back and kicking. Okay, so firstly, this is a trade that I missed. I never actually got in on this trade, and I was not focused at the time. I hadn't seen the bigger picture until a little bit later, but with what this trade here is, this pair is the Euro US dollar, and it fired a bullish butterfly, which is a 4-hour harmonic. It was a tongue twister. So once this has fired this bullish butterfly, I'm then looking for a pattern to play out, which gets reduced down onto the 1 hour. I'm looking for an entry once the 1 hour closes back above the EMAs. So this would be, for me, would be the first leg. Beautiful on the TDI as well. It's one leg out the band, one leg in the band. The close back above would signify that this was the first leg locked. The close below, the vector, the speed in which the price moved down, trapped this yesterday's or previous day's low. And the 00 figure, which is the 107,000 figure, price trapped that, closed back above the 13 EMA on this candle. So my entry would and should have been on this pullback. With your first entry, or even on the pullback, it would be a 10 pip stop for a 20 pip target. So that would have been a nice 2-to-1 trade had I have taken it. As you can see on the TDI as well, the RSI line crossed back above the market baseline and the signal line, giving an extra confluence for the entry. So on to one of the trades I have taken. This happened to be a loss sorry, not a loss. This was a win. This is Euro Canadian dollar. This was a small win. It never went on to go the full distance, as news was due around this time, 1:30. So I closed previously around about here. This was the entry model. Basically, this trade for me has been in consolidation in, as you can see, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2 weeks, 2-week period. These, between these lighter lines is a week period. So 3 weeks, sorry, in a very uncertain, no clear direction, just lots of wicking price action with, yes, wicks lower, but still not on a higher time frame. It's just indecision and a real small choppy looking price action. No real trades available to take within this. However, this did come down on the TDI and give me a lot of confirmation. Looking for an entry, I was looking for one leg out of the band, I was looking for a close back above and close below, I was looking for the pattern to play out on the lower time frame, which it did. It gave us more of a London pattern, and I entered on the close above on the pullback. My stop would have been outside the lows, 12 pips. I was looking for 24 pips, which was just beyond the 800 EMA. But what happened was I closed out with a small amount of profit due to the news coming and creating a 40 pip candle, which is a good job I did close out, because price would have been taking out my stop loss. So then I didn't get an opportunity again to get back into that trade. I was looking for the hour close, and there was a 60 pip candle. It would have had to give a 50% pullback for me to even look for an entry, so that trade was dead for me. EJ, however, was a small relative loss. No, EJ, sorry, it'll be easier when I'm sharing my actual account, the Funded Engineer, because I can drag and drop on the screen. The EJ was the loss I took in the week. This was due to being distracted, not really fully focused on what was going on. This wasn't the entry, that was. And it was I think it was a 20 pip stop. I was looking for 40 pips. Which would have been just beyond the 800 EMA. It wasn't this high at the time. I think it was targeted at the 800 EMA. But obviously, price has continued up, which would have dragged the 800 along with it. The entry itself was on it's called an ID50. It's a beautiful trade. The entry itself was on the 15-minute. And it was after an anchor, so I had some level 3 type behaviour here. The 1350 cross, I was looking for the first pullback and some interaction with the 50 EMA, and this created an ID 50 bounce, and I entered on the 15-minute. However, the day got busy, and I was trying to sort the office, had a meeting with somebody else, and price came back. There was an exit here for a very small loss, scratch, had I have taken it, but price continued up and took me out at my stop loss. EJ was then done for me. It then climbed back on and broke above the previous high, 1350 cross back up towards the upside, so I'll be looking for buys going forward, but for now that was put on the back burner. GJ, earlier in the week, again an ID 50 bounce. I took some small profit off this. Has Again, it was level 3 type behaviour here. There was a harmonic fired, price shifted out the zone on the previous day, which would have been the Wednesday, and then came back that afternoon. My only doubts about this trade were at the time is that is such a big shift candle, 70 pip shift candle. Again, I'd be looking for a 50% retracement, which it wasn't far off. But when price moves pretty quickly throughout the day, from the beginning of the London session, it was 100 pips. It's nearly close to 1 times ADR, which is average daily range. I wouldn't be expecting price to move or continue in that same direction too much. I'd be expecting a pullback and maybe a bit of stalling within price. But yeah, it did come down, and what it had done, it had reacted with the previous weekly high, which is this green line here, but it did create a beautiful trade and setup. Entry wise was beautiful, everything was all singing, all dancing. In this case, you just have to take this trade and try to manage it to the best of your ability. I was at the screen, I was able to manage this well. I've seen the price came down and interacted again. It bounced off the weekly, the previous weekly high, and then it started to climb back up. I closed this out at a very small gain on the retracement of this candle. I would have been looking for a close above the EMAs, which was this candle anyway, but I closed out with a very small amount of profit due to seeing price not having the momentum to break through this previous weekly high. And yeah, there was too much screaming and shouting at me that I expected this price to chop around, maybe even come back a little bit higher before continuing on the downward trend. And then we never actually got an entry, because this was like middle of the evening. This is the Asian range, this blue box. This is in between the hours I'm asleep. So it was actually no trade available the next day. There was a straight away. However, I was expecting this move to happen. It just never gave an entry model. And the last trade taken by myself was on Friday, which was GF, which is the British pound and the Swiss franc. So again, this gave us Wednesday. This gave us fired a harmonic on the 4-hour chart. It's gone now because price has moved away, but that was a 4-hour harmonic. I was looking for a 1-hour pattern, which it never really gave me. But that classed as an anchor. I'm then looking for some sort of bounce trade the next day or safety trade. The previous day never got any entry. It was again a straight away. The price sort of bounced and made the pattern within the Asian range within the time I'd be asleep, and then again just trickled on down a good 60 pips. So obviously the previous day, bearish momentum and price action. I wasn't expecting on Friday. Friday afternoon also is known for lower volatility within the markets. So I wasn't expecting too much aggressive price behaviour, but we had news and confirmation that the British pound, that the UK government had confirmed that we were in a recession. So I actually thought there may be a possibility of seeing some volatility within the US session, which is later in the day, which I normally don't even tend to look at on a Friday, or I'm usually using that time to do markups or check out or record missed trades, etc. But yeah, I had 2 entries on this. I had one, it's a 1 hour 50 bounce for me. This beautiful pattern, beautiful trade, played out lovely, gave me an entry. The RSI had crossed below the 13 EMA, and I had entered on the pullback on the 1 hour. However, it closed back above, so I exited. And then later on in the day, I had 2 entries on this US session. I think it was about 2:15, 2:30 in the afternoon. There was an entry on the actual close of the candle, and then an entry on the pullback. Now, because it was getting later in the day, I was very cautious about price and looking for previous areas of resistance or where price may turn. So I had mapped this out on the charts, this previous wick low, trapped volatility, this horrible Asian opening candle, which actually looked different on a different broker at the same time. But yeah, I was looking for price. This day open price is obviously skewed compared to what other brokers were. I think day open price was around here. So my initial target would have been the EMA or the previous weekly high. But as price interacted and wicked this price and pulled back, I closed out one position and then moved my stop loss on the second position to break even, which was a scratch. A break even trade closed out after. So that was the trades I've taken this week. I'm looking forward to getting back into doing more YouTube content. The reason behind the last couple of weeks being a big gap is because I have literally decorated the whole office, and I had a hard drive meltdown on my computer, which forced me to get that fixed and reboot all the programs, including OBS, which is what I use to document on the trading on YouTube. So yeah, it's all back up and running now. This is Sunday. I've recorded this, so I've spent this this fine morning preparing my new office we're sat in. A beautiful view, and just going back over the trades itself so I could share that with you. So I hope you have the rest of a good weekend and have a safe trading week ahead. Peace out.